Oh, I'm telling you right now, progressive rock died in the 70s, proper died, finished, gone. Here we go. Now listen, after the golden era, nothing. No proper epics, no Matt Toyma signatures, no concepts albums. It's watering down now. In it? So you ignored the last few decades. Go on then, name one modern artist doing real prog. I'm talking 20-minute tracks, moves to level playing, keyboards everywhere, the whole lot. Neal Morse. Is L.I.F.T the most complete and emotionally powerful journey that the Neal Morse Band has ever created? That's the question we're going to answer today. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into L.I.F.T, the brand new album from the Neal Morse Band. This is the fifth studio album released on February 27, 2026 through Napalm Records and Inside Out Music. It's their first release since 2021's Innocence and Danger. And it features the core lineup: Neal Morse on vocals, keyboards and guitars, Mike Portnoy on drums, Eric Gillette on guitars and vocals, Bill Hubauer on keyboards and vocals, and Randy George on bass. Before we get into the album itself, I want to talk briefly about my personal connection. This is actually my first time listening to the Neal Morse Band as a full album experience, but back in 2024, I listened to and reviewed No Hill for a Climber by Neal Morse in Resonance, and I really enjoyed that one. I also listened to the recent album by Spock's Beard from last year, the Archie Optimist, and that's also Neal's old band. He's not there anymore, but I've also been aware for a while that Neal Morse has a really big catalog under different band names. I tried to count them yesterday. I think it's like 52 or something albums in total, but he's very active. He releases multiple albums a year under different names, different projects, so there's a lot to explore. But jumping into this album, I can say right away, it's a serious progressive rock statement. L.I.F.T is a concept album. The story follows a spiritual hero's journey. It's about a protagonist who goes through personal turmoil, doubt, withdrawal, and eventually rediscovers connection and belonging. Neal has described it as more internal than some of the previous band's work. It deals with trauma, shame, mental health, and what it feels to be truly alive again. Musically, the album balances emotional depth with the band's signature progressive grandeur. If you're familiar with their earlier epic works, you hear that same ambition here, but this one feels tighter. Most of the tracks are under 6 minutes, which gives the album natural flow. Even when the songs are long, they don't feel bloated. There's a mix of overtures, piano intros, heavy riffs, twin guitar harmonies, orchestral swells, and progressive metal elements. But there are also softer acoustic, almost worship-inspired moments. It's a wide spectrum. So there's a lot going on here. I'm just going to go track by track and talk about the album. The opening track, Beginning, it's a very theatrical opener. It feels like the curtain rising on a big stage production. There are melodic guitars, strong piano work, and in the second half, some really awesome bass and keyboard interplay. It shifts into more of a hard rock style with the guitars, a slight progressive metal touches. Song's mostly instrumental with a few vocal sections. The final part introduces acoustic guitars and classic progressive rock elements. So this song sets the tone perfectly. Fully Alive is next, and it flows naturally from the opener. It leans more towards classic progressive rock. At times it reminded me of late 70s Styx, with that melodic, uplifting approach. There's more focus on vocals here. Lyrics are very positive and uplifting. I really enjoyed the mix of keyboards and piano. It's still energetic, but it's controlled. Next is I Still Belong. It's a softer acoustic track, mostly finger-picked acoustic guitars. It has a dreamy atmosphere, and in the second half, violins come in and elevate the emotion. When the full band enters near the end, it feels earned. It's a beautiful transition moment in the narrative. Gravity's Grip is an upbeat progressive rock instrumental. More electric guitars and keyboards. There's some tasteful shredding here, but never feels overdone. It's technical but musical. Hurt People is one of the heavier tracks and the second longest at around 8 minutes. Opens with a strong guitar riffs, and it honestly gave me some Dream Theater vibes. The drumming from Mike Portnoy is fantastic. It's tight, creative, and dynamic. The bass riffs are cool and very present in the mix. Lyrics are powerful when they say hurt people, hurt people. It explores cycles of pain and projection. There are extended instrumental sections, time signature changes, even some guitar melodies that reminded me of Brian May in their harmonized style. It is a standout, probably my favorite track on the album. Moving on to The Great Withdrawal, it's a slower building track. It starts with soft vocals and acoustic guitars, then distorted guitars enter. The second half, there are some really expressive guitar solos here. The emotional arc of the song mirrors the concept of withdrawing and then slowly re-engaging. Contemplation is a short 2-minute instrumental. It begins with a classical piano, almost like an interlude, then the full band joins in the second half. It works as a transitional piece and keeps the album flowing. Shame About My Shame is another softer track. The vocal performance is very emotional and vulnerable. Some of the guitar work reminded me of David Gilmour. Very expressive, melodic phrasing rather than flashy technique. Also has that contemporary Christian rock feel, but in a sincere way. Lyrics really lean into internal struggle. Reaching is a good song. It starts almost like a worship song. It has this vocal choir that shifts into classic rock territory with progressive tendencies. At about 7.5 minutes, it's another longer piece and it moves through several sections. It's theatrical, 70s inspired progressive rock, and some contemporary Christian influences as well. It ends with classical violins and a shorter progressive solo. It's very ambitious, but it works. Carry You Again is another acoustic-driven track. Simple strummed chords. Neal's vocals really shine here. Again, there's that contemporary Christian rock influence, but the sincerity carries it. It's heartfelt and melodic. Shattered Barricade is short and atmospheric, very spacey and futuristic sounding, but still includes acoustic textures. Feels like a bridge into the final stretch of the album. Fully Alive Part 2 revisits themes from earlier in the album. I believe we're hearing 3 vocalists here, so we have Neal, Eric, and Bill. Harmonies are strong, there's lots of progressive rock style keyboards, and towards the end, some progressive metal elements, again reminiscent of Dream Theater. And that brings the concept full circle. The album closes with an 11-minute epic called Love All Along. It goes through many changes. It has emotional vocal performances, big soundscapes, dynamic shifts, and strong instrumental passages. It feels like the resolution of the journey. The protagonist moves from doubt and shame into connection and love. It's grand, but not excessive. It's a powerful ending. And now for my final thoughts. Let's go back to the original question. Is L.I.F.T the most complete and emotionally powerful journey that the Neal Morse Band has ever created? Well, for me, as someone who is still kind of new to his entire catalog, like I said, he has like over 50 albums, I think it feels very complete. It has a little of everything, softer pop sections, progressive metal elements, classic 70s progressive rock influences, worship-style choruses, theatrical moments, and technical musicianship. Yes, the album is long, but there's no filler. Every track feels intentional, sequencing is strong, songs flow naturally into each other, the band chemistry is obvious. Even though the music reportedly came together under pressure, it sounds cohesive and inspired. For me, the album is 9 out of 10. Neal Morse, who that sounds like a bank manager. Former frontman of Spock's Beard, massive in modern prog. Then he went solo. Then he formed the Neal Morse Band. Yeah, but is it proper prog though? Or is it soft rock with a flute? 40-minute epics, double albums, concept records, choirs, instrumental breakdowns, key changes that'll make your tea spill. 40 minutes, you say? Yep, check Testimony or One or The Similitude of a Dream. It's the full experience. Does it feel like classic prog though, or just nostalgia bait? Feels like someone took the 70s blueprint and evolved it. Modern production, same ambition. I don't know, mate. I reckon prog peaked when blokes wore capes on stage. And I reckon you stopped exploring after 1978. Oi, 1978 was a brilliant year. So was 2016. You just weren't paying attention. Right then, spell it. I'll have a listen. Just type it properly. Neal Morse, blimey. Another prog fan rescued from the 70s. It's a solid progressive rock album that balances ambition with accessibility. And if you're a fan of Neal Morse's style, this is absolutely worth your time. If you enjoyed this review, make sure you check out my review of No Hill for a Climber by Neal Morse and the Residents, which should be appearing on your screen right now. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, let me know in the comments what you think of L.I.F.T. And thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one.
It's JC Rock and Metal Review.